dkdynamite, and the community is pretty deep into the Easter egg hunt for the tomb, so tonight we're going to be covering every known side quest here in DLC 2. Definitely stay tuned. But as a reminder, over the next couple of days, if not even longer, other quests are likely going to be discovered. In that case, expect plenty of updates on the detonated article linked down below in this video's description. With that, we're going to be starting with the music Easter egg here on the tomb. It's a new song called Dig that was a collaboration between Kevin Sherwood and even Heafy. So you're going to be looking for 3 different Mr. Peak headphones. The first one is located right here just past Deadshot, whereas the next set of headphones is going to be right near Stamina Up, as you will see right there on screen. Kind of hard to see sometimes in some of these darker areas, but the third and final pair of headphones will be located in the Dark Aether Nexus. Follow my exact path, as you can see right towards this rock and some plants. You can interact with the final set of headphones. But to add to this real quickly, it looks like the soundtrack for the tomb is also releasing later this week. Now there's also a quest that rewards you with a free Lightman ammo mod, a self-revive, and again, a little bit of extra essence. This is all great for your early match setup in the case you're going for an Easter egg run or even a high round attempt. So your goal here, as you can see, is to shoot all 10 pots located here in the tomb, 3 of which are at spawn, but then I'll try to get through all the other ones in a timely manner and also in a logical order, just so you can get these done as fast as you can. Now a gold puff will emit from each pot that you shoot, indicating that again, you shot a pot that is a part of an Easter egg. Kind of reminds me of the vase Easter egg, which went unsolved for years over in Dead of the Night, and I believe was connected to what ended up being a canceled Easter egg that just didn't make the final cut. But Lightman is obviously really helpful when going up against certain enemy types like Doppelgast, and you're going to want to run that, especially in the boss fight, as I covered last night. So if you can save some salvage on Lightman and just get it for free, and if you also need a self-revive, then this Easter egg will certainly come in clutch. But once again, once all 10 pots have been shot, you will see all the rewards right in front of you. But you can also get your hands on a free Aether tool. What you want to do is equip Cryofreeze or just have the Staff of Ice. It does not need to be upgraded. And what you want to do is shoot the 2 waterfalls in the Dark Aether Nexus to go ahead and freeze them. And you can do this pretty early on, depending on how quick you either get the ammo mod or the Ice Staff Wonder Weapon. If you've done this correctly, a blue Aether tool will be dropped. It's a bit of a boost so that you can again save your salvage for epic or legendary rarity upgrades later. As of now, there hasn't been a quest discovered that gives you a legendary Aether tool, but this is still a good start in the case you want to save as much salvage as possible. There's also a free PAP Tier 1 crystal and a Cryofreeze mod that you can also obtain here in the Dark Aether Nexus. So there'll be a rock with an electrical effect on it that is floating above your heads. So if you shoot the rock, it'll make several other rocks also fly around this area, and your goal here is to rapidly shoot all of them. And if you've done this correctly, a raw Ethereum crystal will spawn here in the ruins alongside a Cryofreeze ammo mod that is actually for each player in the match. It'll spawn an extra couple of ammo mods depending on how many players are in your match. So if you're in a 3-player game, expect 3 ammo mods to be rewarded to you guys. Now while we're in the Dark Aether Nexus, I also want to cover something that may not be fully solved yet or could just be simple and we're all overthinking it. If you use Melee Macchiato on some of the more developed pods or spores here inside of the Nexus, typically they'll be purple. If you punch them enough, it may release some purple aura parasites that actually try to fly away if you don't shoot them. But if you do manage to shoot all the parasites that fly out of the actual spore, it'll drop you a free weapon. Oftentimes I've gotten free armor plates, other pieces of equipment. I'm sure there's a low chance you can get a wonder weapon or maybe even some other useful items like PAP crystals or Aether tools. I haven't seen that just yet, but this is also a cool way to get some bonus free loot in the case you're in need of maybe a higher rarity weapon on one of the earlier rounds, or if you have OCD and just want to take out all of the spores in the Nexus, you'll be rewarded with some goodies for doing so. Now, there's also a free random perk power-up that you can get really easily, and all you have to do is equip Napalm Burst. Once you've done that, your goal is to head into the Speed Cola room and just ignite the 6 lamps located around the room. One of them was in a really dark spot, so I couldn't actually see it at first, but all you have to do is simply shoot the bowls with your Napalm Burst weapon, and you'll see a purple flame stay in each of the bowls that you shot. Once you've shot all 6, a random perk will spawn, which I know was kind of redundant here in my match because I already had a Perkaholic, but this is also fantastic for those out there that maybe you're in need of a free perk, don't have too many points, or aren't going to be using a Perkaholic. May as well go ahead and grab this power up, which I know is going to get crazier as the year progresses because so many new perks are being added in, you just may not get the one that you were looking for. Now we then have one of the coolest side Easter eggs that folks were really hoping to see ever since the return of round-based zombies a few months ago, and that is the gold armor plate that we last had as a schematic in Modern Warfare Zombies. So all you have to do is go to the Dark Aether Nexus with Melee Macchiato and just hit 2 different wooden boxes. They're not too far from one another, but within each of the boxes, there'll be a human head statue. And all you have to do is bring these heads to their respective monuments that are headless over in these spawns. So over by the dig site, you can place each of these heads back where they belong. Now, before you activate the blood ritual, because you can do this at each of the 2 statues, you want to be set up. So there's multiple ways that you can cheese this, which may get patched later. In that case, expect some updates on how to do this best over in the detonated article. But if you're on solo, I'd recommend bringing in Idle Eyes and Insta-Kill. I'm sure you guys are probably stocked up on those by now if you're a Zombies fanatic. And what you can do is go into the blood ritual, which will set you to 1 HP. All you'll have to defend yourself is the armor plates you brought in. Streaks are disabled. You can't actually call or use them while you're in a blood ritual. And if you just pop Idle Eyes and Insta-Kill, you can very quickly take out the 3 special enemies that'll spawn. One of the blood rituals will give you 3 shock mimics that are really buffed and honestly harder than any other enemy we've probably ever faced. Doesn't matter what round you're on. And then another blood ritual will give you 3 doppelgast. Idle Eyes and Insta-Kills will help you cheese it, but I've heard reports that if you're in a mutant injection, you can actually start the ritual and stay in the injection. I didn't personally risk that, but people out there have also cheesed it by activating a chopper gunner as soon as they activate the blood ritual, and that'll easily allow them to take out these very difficult enemies. Other than that, I'm sure other strategies will be discovered to get this done on solo. If you attempt this on co-op, it'll actually scale to the amount of players in your game and spawn in even more enemy types, upwards of like 6 or 7, which gets really difficult if your teammates also aren't running Idle Eyes or even Insta-Kill. Best way to do it on co-op probably is have somebody in a chopper gunner and have a different teammate activate that blood ritual to ensure you don't get kicked out of the actual chopper gunner. I've also seen instances where if you're feeling like you're about to die, you can maybe force fast travel to fail the ritual and keep the match going, but if you do fail this side Easter egg, there's a very high chance that your match is just going to be over. But if you get overwhelmed by the special enemies in this blood ritual, there's a very high chance that your game is just going to be over. So absolutely be prepared. If you go ahead and successfully complete both blood rituals, again, you activate each one at each of the spawn statues, it'll then spawn a golden armor plate wall buy that is free right here near the Pack-a-Punch machine. And from there, as you'll see, your armor will automatically regenerate just how it did in Modern Warfare 3. This is super helpful for the boss fight or any high round run in my opinion. But if you guys thought your eyes were deceiving you in the thumbnail or in this timestamp, I promise you they're not. There is a free Raygun Easter egg here in DLC 2. Treyarch has done a couple of free Raygun Easter eggs in the past, especially with the Ronald Raygun quest from Outbreak or even Forsaken. But what do you know? You can get a free Raygun that does depend a little bit on RNG, but I actually had some real good luck when going for this and managed to get this done in about 3 rounds total. And you could do this as early as you'd like, depending on the money that you'll need to actually open up the entirety of the map. All you need to do is acquire a shovel, which are actually easy to find since they're highlighted in a lot of dark areas of the map. I walked by quite a few shovel locations here in my game, and what you want to do is collect 3 green gems. I cannot stress this enough. You can only get 1 green gem per round. So if you get a green gem, make sure you go ahead and end the round before digging at another site and really wait for that next round to start. Wait for the round change music, wait for zombies to actually start attacking you, then start going after other dig sites. There really aren't that many sites here in the tomb, which is, I know, a bit ironic, but it's an Easter egg that, of course, is calling back to the original origins. Just take a look at your screen to see if you get a prompt to dig, but you can also follow all the spawns that I actually went to. There's a couple at the actual spawn, I think around 3. There's a couple near Quick Revive in the waterfall, and a bunch in some of those darker corners towards the sides of the map near some of the perk machines. And I don't think I've ever found one in the Dark Aether Nexus, but I managed to get lucky and get these 3 green gems pretty quickly. It's all based on RNG, of course, as we also saw in Terra Maledicta that also featured those dig sites. But once you've acquired 3 green gems, bring them by the statue here by the Bull mural. This is the room where Death Perception is located. And once you've placed all 3 gems, interact with it again, and it'll actually spawn 2 green-eyed doppelgast. You want to quickly take these out, which is honestly a walk in the park with a max rarity or max packed weapon. And once you've taken them out, interact with that orb again, and it'll actually reward you with some free essence, and yes, a free ray gun. Pretty easy to do. If you get lucky to acquire a ray gun before round 10, then you'll be set for the rest of the game without the need to spin the box or waste a Wonder Bar Gobble Gun. Now, this is much less a quest and more so just an Easter egg, but there is a jump scare here in the tomb. Not sure how it activates. Some folks have gotten it in several different points of interest. Some folks have gotten it by picking up a power-up or just shooting at random rocks, killing zombies. zombies. I haven't gotten it personally in my game yet, but shout out and credit to the following folks who went ahead and posted some clips over on YouTube and Twitter. Let me know if you've gotten this jump scare down below in the comment section. Moving on to all of our free power-up locations, as we also saw on the first 3 zombies maps in this game, you can find guaranteed power-ups in specific locations around this map. Starting off with the full power, if you go ahead and equip Dead Wire on your weapon and you shoot these 2 generators at spawn, it will spawn a little bit of essence and the free power-up, which to me is definitely helpful if you're going to do that point farming strat in spawn at the start of your game with some friends. You can of course pop profit sharing, double points, temporal gift, and get this free power-up to start spamming Tesla Storm to really farm up those points, as I've shown you in some recent videos. We then have a free nuke located right here in the catacombs, just to the right of the mystery box. You'll see that power-up just sitting in the distance. They kind of shine gold a little bit depending on the lighting and graphical settings you have in your game. Just once again, put 1 bullet into that power-up and it'll spawn right next to you. We then have a free insta-kill, which I actually had trouble spotting because of the way I was standing, but right here near the quick revive machine by the waterfall, if you look at that big rock straight ahead, you'll see a little dot that you can shoot, which is going to be your insta-kill power-up. Also pretty helpful when things are getting tough against some of these special enemies. We then have a free max ammo. This is going to be on a ledge in the subterranean temple, so what you want to do is just look straight up and you'll see it sticking out right by the hole. Go ahead and put a bullet into that, and there you have it with another free power-up, also one of the more important ones. We then have another free full power right to the left of this specific painting. This is one of these zombie barrier spawns, so go ahead and put a bullet into that, and there's another full power that could come in handy if you guys are switching your field upgrades or just in need of a full power altogether. We then have a free bonus points. This is going to be located in the dark Aether nexus to the left of the blue door. So as you can see, you can crouch down a little bit and see a very shiny bonus points power up that you can shoot. So next up we have the free double points, also located here in the dark Aether nexus. This is going to be to the right of the red door, and what you want to do is just look up and you'll see it right there. As you can see, put that bullet in and you'll get the free power up. Last and certainly not least, we have a free max armor. This is going to be located in the speed cola room right on top there. As you can see, it's pretty easy to miss, but it is a spawn point for some vermin and maybe even some zombies. Go ahead and shoot that, and there you have it, a max armor. So as we saw in the previous 3 round-based maps, after acquiring all free power-ups in a single match, you'd also be rewarded with a free fire sale that you do have to find. As of now, it hasn't been found, but expect an update in the article linked below. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. That's every known side Easter egg thus far on DLC 2 The Tomb. I think this map is certainly in the ballpark of Liberty Falls as far as the quests do go. Let me know how you're feeling down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.